Hello watch lovers! Today I'm bringing you watches with high-end looks at affordable prices. I've got 10 super stylish timepieces that won't break the bank. So here we go, let's begin with this new Seiko. This is the Seiko 5 Sports SNXS series, which is continuing the evolution of the Seiko 5 series. And you get that very familiar Seiko case shape, and on the dial you've got hands and indices which are diamond cut with finely grooved lines. Also the hands are wider with a creamy coloured Lumibrite for that 70s vintage look, which is then further enhanced by an orange second hand. The colour of the dials appears to be inspired by trousers for some reason. You've got beige chinos, deep black wash and rinse blue, which is fine, I guess. And then the dial is framed by a metal chapter ring. The 37.4mm case is brushed and polished, and that's going to wear very much like a 37.5mm watch on the wrist. The bracelet features mirror and hairline finishing, and the piece is powered by an in-house 4R36 automatic movement, and it's just a classic sports watch. And it's going to look hella stylish and really sleek in that smaller size. And for £340, this is a home run from Seiko. Yeah, a swing and a hit, touchdown, checkmate, deuce, new balls please, second service, game over. Next, then, we have Depancel, an independent French watchmaker specialising in racing watches for motorsport enthusiasts. Now, I've never really been that into cars, not since as a kid my mum confused a VHS tape of Brum with John Carpenter's Christine. But I love this Derponselle F-Back with its square case inspired by the car grille shape, which is quite similar to Brum actually. And the dial is also stamped with a radiator grille texture. And there are concentric grooves on the 3 subdials which denote the date and month and a 24-hour indicator. Running down the dial is a racing stripe in iconic colours, reminiscent of a certain livery worn by a 70s carman and films actor Steve McLaren, good manager as well. The boxy sapphire crystal is bevel cut to complement the dynamic edges of the square case, which is 43 by 36mm in 316L steel. And there's a transparent case back that lets you see the Miyota 9120 automatic mechanical movement. It has a 40-hour power reserve and a quite nicely decorated rotor weight. Comes on a perforated leather strap for more racing appeal, and it's just really nicely finished throughout. Lots of lovely details. This is an awesome looking watch with a cool racing spirit for £695. Next we have a watch from Duckworth. Now, when I hear the name Duckworth, I immediately think of classic Corrie, but when I hear the name Duckworth followed by the name Prestex, well then I immediately think of affordable watches made to an extremely high standard. This is the Verimatic, with its elegant 39mm cushion case and beautifully textured fume dial. The dials come in a range of colours with a second hand in a complementary colour, a railroad track around the outside and bold luminescent Arabic markers. The watch has a screw down crown which helps the watch gain a water resistance rating of 200 metres, and inside is the Miyota 9039 automatic movement. It's quite a bold, sophisticated look, but on the suede strap it would also make for a great casual all-rounder. This is a fantastic watch for £595, and the embossed duck on the caseback is a sublime touch. Now, this next Swatch watch is unavoidable. But I'm not talking about the Moon Swatch, which is unavoidable in an annoying way. This is the Unavoidable from Swatch's iconic Irony series from the monthly drops collection. You heard me. Discover Irony, where classic meets contemporary, and it's a rather sophisticated looking watch. Crafted in stainless steel with an integrated leather strap, it has a curvaceous case with a circular bezel, which is lightly brushed for a nice satin finish, and there's a sunburst champagne dial with a small second-hand subdial, and it features a date window, 30 meters of water resistance, and is powered by the System 51. That's the Swiss-made self-winding mechanical movement comprised of just 51 components and made entirely by robots. It's 42mm in diameter, and as you can see from the profile, it's quite thick, around 14mm, but to paraphrase a line from Jurassic Park, if it's thick, it's expensive. Put it back. But this isn't particularly expensive. For this timepiece and its classic style with that contemporary twist, it'll only cost you £211. Now, Citizen's Tsuyosa collection you're probably aware of, with its colourful dials, 40mm brushed and polished stainless steel case with crisp edges, recessed crown at the 4 o'clock position, and seamlessly integrated, quickly interchangeable bracelet, and it's just generally sleek and stylish appearance. But now there's the addition of 3 new models to the collection, and the sportiness has been contrasted wonderfully with some elegant stylings. For the Citizen Tsuyosa automatic small seconds hand, where the dials have received a textured guilloche style pattern, and then the second hand has been given its own sub-dial at 6 o'clock. Dials come in blue, grey and green, apparently, very earthy green, and over the dial is a sapphire crystal, and you get 50 meters of water resistance, and inside is a Citizen automatic movement with 60 hours of power reserve. The blue and green dials will cost you £399 on the steel bracelet, and the grey dial version on the black leather strap will cost you £369. Now we have a watch which, according to Timex, is the most Timex ever made. This is the Giorgio Galli S1 Automatic. Named after its creator and Timex's design director, this is something of a halo piece for Timex in terms of its quality, and it features some really sophisticated details like the open lugs that reveal the engraved grooves on the side of the case, the brushed hands and applied hour markers, and a synthetic red sapphire stone set into the dial. It has a double-domed sapphire crystal, and the grooves of the case can be found on the crown and the back where the concentric rings frame the exhibition window, behind which is an automatic Swiss mechanical movement. You get a soft synthetic rubber strap with a riveted strap keeper and water resistance up to 50 meters. This is a really sophisticated timepiece with a premium feel, and it will cost you £425. But if you want even more premium than that, you could get the S2 model, which has a similar elegance but with an injection moulded steel case and added titanium insert for £750. Next we have Kuoe, an independent Japanese brand assembling beautiful watches from their workshop in Kyoto with a slant towards a vintage style. So you'll find classical minimal designs inspired by watches from the 30s through to the 60s, and some of the vintage stylings across their catalogue of watches include smaller case sizes of around 35mm, domed glass, textured dials, leaf hands, breguet numerals, and warm tones. These are elegant, formal and characterful watches, and pieces start from around £200. And you can check out their latest model, the Royal Smith 9010, with its ivory or black dial variations in a choice of grainy or brushed textures. You get a boxed domed sapphire glass, breguet numerals and raised indices on the minute track running around the outer edge of the dial for a bit of added depth, and inside is Citizen's premium Miyota movement, the caliber 9122, with its day, date, month calendar function and a power reserve of 40 hours. This is a beautiful vintage inspired watch for £673. Now we have the Marloe watch company, and Marloe make watches in small batches and to a high standard, and there is an exquisite level of craftsmanship gone into this watch, the Coniston Auto. Now these watches are made in partnership with the Campbell Family Heritage Trust and inspired by their commitment to breaking speed records, with the colourways on the dials inspired by various vehicles piloted by the Campbells, like the land speed record breaking Proteus Bluebird and the water speed record breaking K4 hydroplane. Now the dials are multi-layered and have some really interesting details. There's hour markings around the outer periphery of the dial, with a metallic minute track on the inner edge of a stepped recess where a white luminescent ring circles around a central plateau like a glow-in-the-dark moat. The hour and minute hands are skeletonized, and there's a second hand with a broad arrow tip in yellow. Across the case you'll find brushed and polished finishes, chamfered edges and a knurled texture around the bezel. It's 41mm in diameter, has 100 meters of water resistance, and inside is another Japanese Miyota automatic movement, and this is a really considered watch with lots of details to admire, and it costs £369. Next we have a very stylish range of watches for the very affordable price of £65. This is the Casio MTP series, and it comes in a range of exuberant colours on a sunburst dial. The case size is 35mm in diameter with a thickness of only 7.4mm, so nice and slim and compact, very wearable, and the overall appearance is clean and minimal and very striking. It's a simple three-hander with a quartz movement, and you get a date display and 50 meters of water resistance. Now, it's not going to be finished to as high a level as some of the other watches in this video. The edges are not as crisp and the overall build quality might not feel as tight, but on the wrist it's going to look as stylish as all hell. And at this price point, there's really not much that comes close to it. Plus, it says Casio on the dial, so when people see that, they will know that you are indeed a player. £1,000 is certainly pushing the limits of what one might deem affordable, especially to a muggle who knows not the mysterious ways of the magical watch world. But adventurous, world-travelling watch enthusiasts certainly won't mind. This is the Certina DS Action GMT Powermatic 80. It's a super stylish and durable watch, DS standing for double security, Certina's robust construction system. This is a sporty watch with a GMT hand and a 24-hour scale bezel for telling time in 3 separate time zones. Features a 41mm stainless steel case with a black dial and superluminova on the indices and hands. The bidirectional turning bezel is fashioned in a scratch-resistant sapphire crystal and a nice popping green and black colour combo. Inside is the Swiss Powermatic 80 automatic movement, which comes with the Nevacron balance spring for enhanced protection against magnetic fields. And this is an extremely cool, sporty watch from a great Swiss watchmaker who've been doing this kind of thing for over 130 years. Right, there we go. That was 10 stunning watches that will make you look like a big shot for not much money. And if you want more amazing watches, you can check out watchfinder.com for your next pre-owned luxury watch. And I'll catch you next time. All right then?